Welcome along, gamers, to this look at the Game of the Year 2017. We watched the Game Awards 2017 last week, and we saw Zelda Breath of the Wild take the title away from Super Mario Odyssey, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. It was quite a heated, very tightly fought battle for the Game of the Year, but Zelda the Breath of the Wild was the winner, and myself, Respawn Rossco, and David Game from MyGamesLounge.com had a little bit of a discussion about this on this week's podcast. We're releasing that in episodes through the week, so you can check this out now as we talk about all the other things to do with the Game Awards as well, including some of the sections that we tried to predict. As ever, we'd really like your input, guys, so please do get in those comments on MyGamesLounge.com or on YouTube and let us know what you think should have won the Game of the Year, or if you think Zelda was the worthy winner. We both think it's certainly a contender. Have a listen to us now. Do enjoy. Zelda, the Breath of the Wild, won Game of the Year at the Game Awards 2017, and it was probably a deserved winner, although it's a little bit up for debate. There's been some kind of, well, I thought this and I thought that. So what I thought would be a good idea to start with is us to have a little talk about the winner, David. Did you think Zelda was a good winner?
Absolutely. Here's the thing. There's only one game that I would have questioned out of those choices if it won. And funnily enough, that would have been Persona 5. As much as I love Persona 5, but I'm very aware of how niche it is and how it has such a long intro to get into. There is a beefy, it's front loaded and back loaded and middle loaded. That game,
that game is loaded.
It's loaded in every sense, and the problem with that is that not everybody wants to dig through that, and that's, but it was great that it was nominated up there. When you talk about the Game Awards, I know we had our laughs and jokes about it being like, it's a promotional thing, Jeff Keighley. Ultimately, it's just a nice big celebration of video games that advertisers happen to latch on to, and everyone gets paid, so that's fine. But with Persona 5, the fact that it was in that category at all gave it a nice boost in people's minds, like, hey, this is here because it deserves to be spoken about. It's not gonna win. We all know that in this year,
yeah,
like this Persona 5 probably wouldn't have won generally because of its niche status, but I'm so glad it's so widely recognized. But Zelda from, again, there are pieces of Zelda I don't enjoy. I haven't dug into it the way most people have. I do want to play it. I've wanted to play it since I sold it, like back when I had it. I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna get to this. So, and then then I had it from Boomerang. I rented it out and then sent that back without playing it. And so many times that I've gotten, about maybe 10 shrines in, and I've done a few things, done enough to know that I like it, and enough to also understand that I hate the inventory system, where I'm like, and then, like, from my experience, it's like, Zelda's a really good game that I'm probably never going to get to because it's huge and I don't fancy it right now. Whereas,
I think that's the thing with me with it as well, David. It's like, I think the game is beautiful. I think the gameplay is amazing. I like the physics of everything. I like the fact you can just climb things. You can just so climb it, and that. Why is that not in more games? But the thing for me is, if I go on to a game, I'm not really accomplishing anything, because you could go on to Zelda and not do anything for an hour. Really, you could be like, oh, what's that off in the distance? Oh, what's that? What's that thing? Let's go and have a look. And it's not really anything. And then you find something, and you get into a fight. You're not really moving anything on, so that, I don't know, I need a dedicated amount of time to invest in that game, and I will fall in love with it. But I can tell if I had maybe a 5-6 hour session on that game just for a day, that would be it. I'd probably be like, I've gone, Game of the Year. The thing for me with the other games in the categories, like, I feel a bit bad on Horizon Zero Dawn. I felt like that deserved a award of some kind because it was that good. But a new IP against established franchises like Mario and Zelda, no chance. I just feel like the other ones, for me personally, Horizon moves you on quickly. Mario moves you on quickly. Zelda really need to invest the time, but if you do, you'll fall for it, I think.
Yeah, Zelda. This is the thing. I think we go back to the original question of what you asked was, yeah, I mean, Zelda, in terms of the many things you could think about being a game of the year, Zelda hits the mark. It does things no other game has ever done. It has that level of Nintendo polish. They made the right decision of launching it with their new console, which
Yes.
Nintendo never do anymore. They never launched a great game with their console. You talk about Wii Sports with the Wii, and yeah, I mean, I love Wii Sports. It's still really good. It's not Zelda, it's not the marquee franchise. And New Super Mario, what was it? New Super Mario Bros. U launched with the Wii U. It's like, oh, this is fine. I mean, it's old Mario, but this was like a fresh experience. It wasn't just a new Zelda game. Oh, it's Zelda again. This is like a reinvention of Zelda, and they did it so well in a way that people were really upset with Skyward Sword, like the last time they reinvented quote unquote Zelda, and it just, some people love that game, but a lot it's not. It's not on that level. And they've done their remasters. They've done Wind Waker, which people will really appreciate on the Wii U, and Twilight Princess, which was remastered on I think it's like the late end of that cycle. But like the Breath of the Wild, it is. I can appreciate everything about it, and I do want to get back to it, but I also know that if I invest in that game, kind of like I've done with Assassin's Creed, why it took me so long to actually start the game, was because in my head, and this is me with infinitely more time than even you, I sit there and say, man, if I commit to this, I need to commit to it. I need to. Because if I go a day without playing it, I will not go back to it, and that's what happened with Zelda. I went a few days without playing it because it came out around the same time as Horizon, and I think I did the opposite of what most people did, who played Zelda instead of Horizon. I played Horizon instead of Zelda, and in hindsight, as much as I enjoyed Horizon, and I really did, might have been like the wrong call, and unfortunately for me, that then steamrolled directly into Persona's delay, because that got delayed out of February into April, I believe. And so I went straight from Horizon into Persona 5 because I believe we got that early for the review, and that was me then. As soon as I was into Persona, I was like, well, here's nearly like 200 hours, like I'm not playing anything else. There's nothing else to play at this point because Persona, and then you move into then you're like, oh, Zelda was ages ago now in your head, and it's a shame. And I find I've got some other shames that I want to talk about at some point, but we'll get to it if we get the time. About games that were released that have been shockingly overlooked, in my opinion, because of the quality of games. And we had a brand new mainline Zelda game and a brand new mainline Mario game, both of which reinvigorated their franchises, both of them, on a brand new console that's doing incredibly well and is a fantastic idea from Nintendo. But drive that part home. A fantastic idea that works really well from Nintendo. That's been a while.
I know. Amazing. And you expect outstanding games from a Nintendo. You just, that's what you're going to get. But for everything to come together so perfectly for them is unheard of in all generations of gaming. I mean, you go back to like the mess that was the GameCube. I loved my little GameCube, but everything just didn't quite work out for that machine. Yet you think some of the games that are on there were absolutely outstanding.
Animal
really
Crossing was born on the GameCube, wasn't it? That's amazing.
Some amazing games on that machine. I mean, I'm so pleased. And what speaks volumes in this kind of world where everyone's like, oh, it's underpowered. It's not going to be like proper true 4K this, and that is a fair and valid point, but you don't need that to make an amazing game. You need to make an amazing game. And they've done that twice this year. Those two easily could have both won.
I'd say even more than twice. I think those two are standouts. But Splatoon 2 was really good. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, despite its flaws, is very good. It's very ambitious. They've been they are the new home of indie. as well, because like, less demanding things. Just yesterday, Russ, I have Stardew Valley on the PlayStation 4. And I sat on this very couch from where I record, and you hear me digitally through your ears. I sat here and I thought, I really want to play Stardew Valley, but I don't want to sit at the couch and look at the TV for it. And I looked at my Switch and I was like, Stardew Valley's on the Switch, isn't it? And I didn't buy it because I'm broke as anything, so let's not go down that road for a second. But, I looked at it on the Switch store for a little bit. I was like, man, I really wish I had Stardew Valley on the Switch, because I'd be playing it all day. Mr. Shifty. Sometimes I feel like I'm turning into the Nintendo fanboy that I thought the Wii U people were, and still are, actually. They love their Wii U's, and it is a shame. They'll never admit that it was, it was a disappointment. And it was a massive disappointment, the Wii U was. It had some excellent games. Again, like you spoke about the GameCube, I feel very much about the Wii U the way that you feel about the GameCube. Some incredible games on a system that just felt weird and out of place. And, the halfway house between what they had and what they now have. It's it was the prototype Switch. And again, there are advantages to the Wii U that unfortunately the Switch doesn't have, like, the fact that the two screens work independently, whereas the Switch is obviously its own thing all in one now. I imagine a game like Mario Maker might be a little bit harder to do in that aspect, and but the fact is that this time Nintendo have come out swinging in a way that this time, maybe a year and a half ago, I sat there literally saying, I hate the fact that Xenoblade Chronicles X is on the Wii U. I wish it was on the other consoles. I wish Nintendo would make their games for other consoles. And, people have been saying that for years now, haven't they?
Yeah.
I wish Nintendo would make their games for PlayStation, PS4. They'd be great on them. I wish that partnership had never fell apart back in the early days. When they were,
Things would be so different.
When Nintendo did pull the rug out from under Sony, and then Sony turned that into gold somehow.
Crazy.
Like, the Switch is... It's the thing now, man. Like, for everyone that's going on about, they're going out there getting their Xbox One X's and they're getting their 4K televisions. Make sure it's an OLED, please, ladies and gentlemen. Like, if you're getting a 4K
if you're gonna do it properly.
This is the thing, yeah. It's like, if you
don't get one of those Panasonics. You know what I mean? Those Black Friday Asda specials.
If you're going to cheat on your vegan diet, you don't go and get a cheeseburger from the local chippy. You go and get something more substantial. You go and get the Frankie and Benny's big beefy steak or something.
Get to Five Guys. Nicest burger I've ever had.
Yeah, that is
£15,000 for a burger, but it was nice.
It's their fries as well, really. Do you know what?
Oh, they are.
Going down the wrong rabbit hole here.
We are crossing lines. To wrap up, let's wrap up the Zelda thing.
It absolutely deserved Game of the Year.
Yeah, I totally agree. Fantastic game. I think Mario probably pushed it close. I would be interested to see the votes count on those. I reckon that was a very tight category there. But yeah, certainly very, very good game. Goes to show you don't need the power. You just need a quality game. We've got to review over our predictions. We did put those out on My Games Lounge, and we're going to each talk about our category. Which category would you like to discuss, David?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe something where the melodic tones of it's the best music category. Of course, it is the best music category. Which I would tell you right now,
score,
Ross,
wasn't it?
Yes, it was indeed. Music / score, and I sat there, Russ, pure confidence. Didn't even shake. Didn't even momentarily think that anything would beat Nier. And guess what? It didn't. Nier just boom. Yep. Well, best music, Nier Automata. Like, yes, it is. Like, that was literally my response to myself. Yes, it is.
Yes.
I've heard all of those games.
Done. Well done for getting it right.
Well done for the literal correct thing. And again, before anyone decides that I am actually being serious, that was clearly a joke. But Nier Automata, that I have said for like throughout the entire year, as much as I struggle with that and Persona 5, in terms of a pure like when you put the word score on there, that's the triggering point in my head for no, it's Nier. Or I think orchestral. I think the like a sweeping, like how well orchestrated the entire soundtrack is, and that was Nier.
Yeah.
And
I actually can't wait to play it, to be honest. It might be the first episode of my Rossco Plays the Game of the Year videos that I'll be running soon, because I really do. After the things that you said about it, I did play the demo way back, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's such an interesting game. I can't wait to actually get playing on it.
Yeah, and that's the demo is the opening of the game as well. And people lament the fact that you have to play it 4 times to get the whole story. That's not necessarily true. In truth, they build it as replaying the game, but that's more of a conceptual thing. It's really hard to say without spoiling it. But
No,
I'm not going to spoil it. Don't worry. Like, it's the.
I'm got right. I don't want to spoil games, and Star Wars is out this weekend, and I'm not going to see it after people, so I'm going to be Mr. Avoiding spoilers for like the next weeks.
Twitter's going to just be full of them.
Don't go on. So sign out of all social media. I'm looking forward to it. I hope I don't have to play it 4 times, because I'm not sure I'll have the time to do it. So it might be a YouTube job for the other 3.
Again, yeah, it's not playing it 4 times really. It's more like the game divides itself up into chapters, but it doesn't tell you that. It's again, that's not a surprise. It's just it's a thing that apparently Yoko Taro is very, I don't know, this is what he wanted to do, and he's to be reductive, he's the new Kojima, and but maybe he was the old Kojima. I don't really understand where the parallels go with Japanese game designers and how long they've been around. But yeah, it's fair to say that I played Nier Automata and I went, anything Yoko Taro does from now on, I'm gonna pay full attention to. I will. That name is now embedded inside of my brain. Like, awesome. It's engraved on me.
I cannot wait. I genuinely cannot wait to play that game. I picked it up in the Black Friday sale. It's on my pile of games to play, and I'll be making some videos as I go. Personally speaking, I think the category I'd like to just bring up is one dubbed by a certain someone as the Pointless Award of the night.
It was.
But pointless or not, I was correct. I decided to... the most anticipated game was... a weird one. People voted for a selection of games that they wanted to vote for, the one they are looking forward to the most, and the winner was, of course, the correct answer, The Last of Us Part 2. I do think that I agree with what you said on the prediction show, David. I do think Red Dead Redemption probably got the biggest share of the votes other than that one. I think it was very, very close in the Pointless Award category. But I think The Last of Us... I think it kind of shows where The Last of Us 2 is, though, in the gaming world. I think it's expanded beyond a game. I think the fact that there's a film being muted to be being kind of created around it.
Which will never come out, but yes.
Which it'll never come out, and if it does, it'll be an Assassin's Creed.
I'll be happy if it does come out. That's what I'm saying. I want to be very clear about that. I don't think it will, because most of these movies don't, but I hope it does.
Well, they're making Uncharted, aren't they? I think Uncharted's in the works, so I mean, the natural progression is...
That's been in some sort of development hell for a long time, though, and it just keeps getting tossed over like a bad burger. Like, I don't understand.
I don't know if it's like trolling on or just like fake, but I've seen I can't remember his name, Tom, somebody, he plays the new Spider-Man in the Avengers as Drake. So I don't know if that's 100%, and I think the man you're modelling a beard on from Breaking Bad,
Bryan Cranston,
thank you. I think he's in it as Sully. So yeah, it could be quite a decent game movie for once. It'd be nice for something to be good. But
it would be nice to see if it was good. And I know I'm not in the popular view with the fact that I wasn't keen on the Warcraft movie, But I still don't think there's been a very good video game movie.
No, I agree.
The original, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Well,
yeah,
there we go. There we go.
Mario. No, Luigi Mario.
Oh man.
But yeah, the most anticipated game award, I think rightly so. The Last of Us 2. Everyone is looking forward to that game that enjoys games, and I know there are some very, very staunchly loyal Xbox fans, but I know a fair few, and even they are looking forward to that game. So hopefully it transcends the kind of console wars, and everybody is looking forward to having a go on that, because it looks good. It looks dark. I'm looking forward to it. Final thoughts then, David, before I pass it over to our lovely listeners and viewers to put their comments on. Game Awards show generally decent
It was
enough?
a good show. It was a good show. I thought that they cut back on the bullcrap a lot more. I think Jeff... Again, we all give Jeff a lot of crap. Anyone that talks about games gives Jeff a lot of crap. But Jeff does care about video games. That's why he put up with all the Spike TV bullcrap he had to jump through. Like, he didn't do that for the joy of dealing with television executives, I imagine that. Like,
no, he didn't.
He did it because he believes in games and he wants them to be out there. I truly believe that about Jeff. And
awesome.
I think that's even more apparent this year with the fact that there was no, hey, look at the shaver guy in the suit, or whatever that was.
That's because they know gamers don't really shave.
I mean, you say that, but
they're a very
if you were watching my
bunch.
Instagram videos, Ross, you'd know that I shaved part of my face.
Yeah,
but that's a story for another time.
Definitely. We're going to talk more about the Game Awards if you're watching the full podcast. We're going to move on to the next section, talking about the Game Awards, some of the trailers that were shown there, the best bunch there. They want to have a little bit of talk about that. If you're listening to this as an episode on mygameslounge.com or on YouTube, thank you for listening, guys. Please do leave us a comment. We want to know what you thought of the Game Awards, and did you think Zelda deserved to win Game of the Year? Or would you have picked something else? What would you have put up there? Do let us know in the comments on My Games Lounge. It's super easy. It's just discuss, or you can use Facebook comments. Obviously on YouTube, you should know what to do on YouTube. Just scroll down and drop us a comment, and we'd like to know what you've had to say on the Game of the Year awards there. We're going to talk about more stuff. They will be coming out in episodes throughout the week on mygameslounge.com, so listen out for them, looking at the best trailers. Thank you for listening, guys, and if you're staying with us, we will continue with this full podcast. Otherwise, have a good day.